In the quiet village of Umuaka, nestled among green farmlands and red dusty roads, lived a young man named Ekene. He was born into a humble family. His father was a palm wine tapper, and his mother sold firewood in the market. Life was tough, but Ekene's parents raised him with values of hard work, humility, and respect. Ekene, however, was never content with village life. He often looked at his friends who had traveled to the city and returned during Christmas with fine clothes, flashy phones, and pockets full of money. He despised the simplicity of his parents' lifestyle. He told himself that one day, he would leave Umuaka and never look back. His opportunity came when his cousin, Obinna, visited from Lagos. Obinna promised to help him find work in the city. With excitement, Ekene left home against his parents' advice. His mother cried, begging him not to forget his roots, but Ekene waved her off. "Mama, I will build you a mansion when I make it. This village life is too small for me," he said proudly. Life in the city, Lagos welcomed Ekene with blinding lights, bustling traffic, and endless opportunities. At first, he struggled, hustling on the streets, running errands, and sleeping on bare floors. But Ekene was ambitious. He eventually found work as an apprentice in a motor spare parts shop. He worked hard, but he also began to mingle with the wrong crowd. He admired men who flaunted money, wore expensive clothes, and looked down on the poor. Slowly, his humility faded, years passed, and Ekene rose in business. He opened his own shop, drove a sleek car, and began to live in luxury. He changed his accent, his dressing, and even his attitude. He despised poor people, including his own family. His parents sent him letters through villagers who traveled to Lagos, begging him to visit. But he ignored them. "What will I be doing in that backward village? My life is here," he would boast. He stopped sending money home, claiming he was too busy. Even when his father fell sick, Ekene did not bother to check on him. He told friends, "If my father cannot take care of himself, that's his problem. I am not a villager anymore." The peak of pride, Ekene's pride reached its peak when he married a beautiful city girl named Sandra. She was impressed by his wealth and flaunted lifestyle. The wedding was lavish, with expensive drinks, gold jewelry, and music that echoed through the night. During his wedding, Ekene refused to invite his mother. He told people she was too local and would embarrass him. His mother wept in silence back in Umuaka, praying that her son would one day remember his roots. The downfall, life took a sudden turn. Ekene made a huge investment deal with some business partners who turned out to be fraudsters. Overnight, he lost millions. His shop collapsed, his car was seized by the bank, and his landlord threw him out when he couldn't pay rent. Sandra, his wife, who had enjoyed his money, quickly packed her bags and left. "I didn't marry a poor man," she sneered as she walked away. Ekene was left with nothing. His so-called friends abandoned him. The city that once embraced him now turned cold. He wandered the streets of Lagos, begging for food. For the first time in his life, he realized the emptiness of pride. The return home, one rainy morning, barefoot and wearing tattered clothes, Ekene decided to return to Umuaka. He had no transport fare, so he trekked part of the journey and begged for lifts along the way. When he finally arrived at his village, the people were shocked. The once proud, boastful Ekene had become a shadow of himself. His hair was unkempt, his eyes sunken, and his voice weak. He walked slowly to his family's compound. His mother, older now and frail, was sitting by the fire cooking. When she saw her son, she dropped a spoon in her hand, tears streaming down her face. Ekene fell on his knees. "Mama, I am sorry. I was blind. I forgot where I came from. Please forgive me." His mother pulled him into her arms, weeping. "My son, I warned you. But you are still my child. You are welcome home." The villagers gathered around, some shaking their heads, others whispering. Ekene, once proud and arrogant, was now humbled. He realized that pride had stolen everything from him. Ekene started helping his mother in the farm and his neighbors in the market. Slowly, he rebuilt his life, this time with humility. He never regained the wealth he once had, but he gained peace of mind, respect, and the love of his community. And every evening, as he sat under the mango tree watching the sun set over the red roofs of Umuoka, he would whisper to himself, "Pride destroys, but humility saves." Moral of the story: never forget your roots, no matter how high you rise. Pride blinds, isolates, and destroys, but humility opens doors to lasting peace and love.